You shave your ass.
Here's your bumper right there.
I'll move over, Swanson. I'm driving.
Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute. This is the podcast where we shave our ass, I guess, with the film Caddyshack, 1 minute at a time. I am Tom Taylor, and I'm joined as always by my co-hosts Mike DeMaria.
Hello.
And Dan Lewis.
Stole my thunder there, Tom. I was going to say you shave your ass.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I suppose
mean, you know,
it's only
it's prime in this minute.
Yeah,
Everyone's
really
going to go for
One of
that.
the
As you
best
can all
lines of the whole
tell,
movie.
we're here to talk about minute 45 of Caddyshack, and minute 45 begins with Joey D'Annunzio, the female, suggesting that the lifeguard shave his ass, and it ends with Maggie trying to get Danny's attention back from Lacey Underall. And
I'm watching the minute right now. I didn't have time.
Dan hasn't done his homework.
Major transit problems on the way home today in San Francisco.
Well, it actually starts
because it's raining, and if you get water on stuff out here, people can't get on and off of trains. They can't operate their lives. They can't do anything normally. Everything completely shuts down.
Yeah.
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 And you know what?
It's the same all over.
It makes me think. No, it's not, Tom. No, it is not. I lived in Chicago, where you guys lived for years, and stuff keeps moving. There's it's a little harder in the winter, but here when it rains a couple inches, it's as though I don't know. It's as though it makes me think about that. I'm looking at the way people can't deal with like the slightest bit of adversity in their commutes. And and everything just shuts down if there's a little bit of rain, and it makes me think maybe that 1906 earthquake maybe wasn't that big. I feel like maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just a little tremor, and everybody freaked out, and that's
a couple of China cups fell off a shelf.
Right, and they shut the city down.
Yeah,
and somebody got upset and lit the city on fire. I feel like the statute of limitations is up on that, so I can make jokes about the San Francisco earthquake.
Too soon.
Not the one in '89. That one was a horrible disaster. But the one in 1906 was a fast-moving, black and white, grainy hilarity.
That was an earthquake for pussies.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just a total disaster every time out here. And everybody thinks this is a good place to live. You guys, it's not a good place to live.
No, it doesn't. Rain is not infrequent in your area, is it?
I mean, yes, it is.
It is infrequent. Okay.
The state of California has suffered from a massive drought.
Well, I mean, now it has, yeah. But I mean, like, traditionally, on a normal year, you get some rain there, don't you?
It rains in, like, January or February a lot, and then it stops for, like, 7 months. So right now we're in the rainy period, and that's great.
So people should be used to it. They should have acclimated to water coming out of the sky.
It's like things just don't... I don't know what is going on in people's heads here. I don't get it. And they all think the weather is good here, and it's not. It's millions of people walking around with this delusion that they live in a place with good weather, and they do not. L.A. has good weather. This place is basically 58 degrees.
The chair recognizes Mike DeMaria.
I think Mike's got a point here. We shouldn't be talking about the weather. Okay, never mind. But it just pisses me off. And the weather's not good here. And screw everyone. That's all I'm saying.
Does Mike, would you like to add something?
Okay, Mike, what would you like to talk about? What erudite conversation would you like to have right now about shaving asses?
Well, the Caddyshack Minute. That's what we're here to discuss.
I actually haven't even... I did do the thing. Okay.
I have a half-packed suitcase here. I got things to do too, not just you and your commute. We all got
skipping
commutes.
the country.
I'm sorry, Mike, but I'm still fresh off the commute, and I'm upset.
I know what you mean. I get it.
Yeah, I'm still watching the minute even. So listen, go ahead. Tell me, did Tom say what happens at the end of the minute?
Well, he didn't. He got the beginning wrong. It doesn't start with her saying you shave your ass. It starts with lifeguards like put your suit on.
Well, it begins with on. He says like
No.
the previous minute. Oh my God, the previous minute ends with put your suit.
No, he says suit on. Suit on.
Okay, suit on. But still, it's the transitive property of minute beginnings and endings.
There's a lot of anger in this minute. The beginning.
Fuck you guys.
A lot of anger from the lifeguard.
Yeah.
And a lot of anger from why does that anger Joey D'Annunzio so much that he says put your suit on?
Yeah, I would actually. Okay, I'm going to get yelled at, but is her excellent, beautiful, famous line, "You shave your ass." I'm not even going to pick apart that joke. It's just as perfect as it is. I know it's a multifaceted diamond, but is that in direct response to him yelling at her brother to put his suit on?
Oh, shut up, Tom.
Fuck you.
I don't know what is. I don't get it either. Who has the suit off? The topless girl on.
No,
that's
it's Angie. At the end of the last minute, Angie
with the
has
jockstrap.
he's just running around in his jock strap with his cap over his wiener.
Yeah, you put your suit on, right?
Yeah. You shave your ass, and then jumps in the
See,
water.
the D'Annunzios again sticking up for each other.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's perfect. That's good,
Yeah.
actually. I like that.
But why is that sticking up for him? The guy's suit got ripped off. Of course, the lifeguards say, "Put your suit back on."
I'm
Yeah, but
just saying,
somebody's yelling at her brother.
Someone's
she's
yelling at her
telling him to
brother.
shave
She's
his
like, "You
ass."
shave your ass," which I don't even get. Is that like a? I'm going to ask a Tom question here, and I'm going to ask it the way Tom asked it. I'm going to go.
Okay.
I want to get yelled at for this, but have I heard you shave your ass? Is that like a real thing? I'm wondering. Is that an insult? Is that I don't have it in my notes, Mike.
No, I've never heard that before either. It's just like a non sequitur.
Yeah,
It is. But it's a lonely non sequitur.
There's non sequiturs. There's more non sequiturs in this movie than there is in like a Louis Buñuel.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, or like Ionesco play.
Right. Exactly.
It's just like petite charm of the bourgeoisie. It's like a Buñuel film.
Right, exactly.
No, but it's like no. I saw this because I remember this scene from TV. So they edited in something.
Oh, right.
That sound.
You shaved
and
your
I-
squirrel.
No, and to this day, I always thought she was saying something about your savior because it sounded like your savior, like it was like accusing of, where's your savior now? But that's when
It
that's
depends.
when
Were
it
you
came.
watching it on PAX or something?
It was overdubbed as something that sounded like, "Where's your savior now? Your savior."
Right.
So as a kid, I was like, "Why is she on
You
that
accepted
diving
Christ
board?"
as your personal savior.
She's proselytizing, or she's like, "Yeah, Shay, where's your Messiah now? Yeah, Shay, where are Moses?"
Dive off the high dives, eh?
If I had a TV network and I was forced to overdub things, which is of course ridiculous and shouldn't even exist, but if I was forced to overdub things, I think I would do it all with an Edward G. Robinson voice, no matter who was talking.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
And so, like, when someone says, like, fuck you in the middle of Goodfellas or something,
Yeah.
I'd have an Edward G. Robinson say, fudge. Fudge!
But it'd be cut really bad right in the middle of the sentence, so it would just stand out.
Yeah.
I think if you see the movie, I think it's Presumed Innocent. There's a guy at one point who refers to Judge Motherfucker. He's like, "Oh, we used to call him Judge Motherfucker," and but on the TV version he says, "Yeah, we called him Judge Mickey Ficky." That's like what they came. That's what they came up with to cover up
Mickey
Motherfucker.
Ficky.
Mickey Ficky.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You go shave your ass yourself. You Mickey Ficky.
Yeah, she's she belts out that line like, as she's. Hey, wait a second. I'm watching this without the sound. Is that actually what she says? I know she says it in the movie, but it looks like her mouth is saying something else. This is weird.
I don't know.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The Joey D'Annunzio on the diving board.
Uh-huh.
It looks a little bit like she says something completely different than "you shave your ass" or like "you shave your something." I'm gonna let it go. I'm sure
So
she
it's
says "you
overdubbed.
shave your ass."
That's why.
But still,
Well,
she like
also-
says it and she's like, "I'm gonna yell this as I jump in the pool."
Yeah, it's
Like,
just
it's like-
overdubbed. She turns her head down. You can't even see what she's
Yeah,
mouthing there.
that's kind of it.
Yeah, it's like the actor. They're getting a little worried about jumping off the
Right.
diving board because instead of just looking right at him and then jumping, she has to
Yeah.
look down like she's afraid that she's gonna.
I'm hitting my mark.
Yeah. In the water.
Yeah. There are people wearing their shirts in the pool. That's obscene.
But then it cuts
That's
to
craziness.
the woman and the girl in the swimming cap runs by with the swimsuit, and everybody kind of like goes running by. It's almost like a scene from Grease. It's all choreographed,
Yeah.
like there's a little sachet in their step.
Yeah, it's like right before they all spread to have Danny Zuko and
Yeah.
and Sandy about to do a song. They're doing this little like coordinated Bob Fosse style, like
Right.
pseudo chaos.
Calculated mayhem.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's calculated mayhem right before they all get into syncopation.
Right.
Right,
And start singing, we go together like shamalama lama lama dee dee bum bum ba bop.
Wasn't Sean Anna in that, by the way?
No.
No.
Wait, Sean Anna
just-
was in Grease, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Weren't they
Oh,
in
you know
the-
what? No, they were the band at the
Yeah.
dance, I think, right?
They were the band at the dance, and that means
Seems
that.
redundant.
Does that mean that?
Ooh, I know what you're getting at.
Yeah, you know what I'm getting at, right? Does that mean
Yep.
that previously known as Drew Scott and we now know as Gatsby was in Grease?
Ooh, wait a minute now. Let's look that up because
Shamalama Ding Dong.
I think we're onto something here. Holy Moses.
This is called 6 Degrees of Drew Scott.
Of Gatsby.
Except for you got to use one of the degrees to get to Drew Scott from Gatsby.
That's true.
You got to borrow a degree.
Yeah.
You got to carry the you carry the degree. It's like long division.
Yeah.
That'd be funny if you had to play like 6 degrees of Brian McConaughey, and then the first degree is always used up on getting to Drew Scott or getting to Gatsby, so that you can get to Grease, and so that you can go off from there.
Oh, wait
So
a
you
minute.
have
I
John
see him as
Travolta.
having one actor credit.
Oh,
That's
there he is.
Gatsby.
You know what? I think he was.
Have you found?
I think it is.
Yeah. I think it is.
What?
I see something, and we'll have to
right.
load it up in the listener's hole when this
Yeah. Well,
when this episode airs. Hold on.
Curious.
That's one of our big film buff expert type listeners, and there are several. Maybe they
have
can
a
get
few of
back to
those.
us on this.
They're pros.
The number of shirts in the pool is actually higher than in a normal pool.
Well,
You see
that's,
the
that's
But,
shorthand
but then there's
for,
more boobs also. It's very strange that
Yeah.
that's occurring.
Have we seen
All right.
boobs yet?
Not yet, but I
No,
know
I
they're
didn't
there.
think so. I don't want to miss anything.
All right, just stop for a second. Everybody stop for a second. We can edit this part out, but check out the link that I just put in there.
Oh my
Oh, God,
gosh!
really?
Are you kidding me? Are Drew Scott's in there?
He starts the
Tarzan
song
the
off.
Magnificent. Oh my God.
Oh my
That's
God,
him.
that's him! Holy shit!
Oh, that's incredible.
Right off the
He
bat.
wasn't just a member. He was one of the leads.
boy.
Okay, so if you go to Greece, and Mike just pointed out, Mr. Scott Powell, not to be confused with Drew Scott, is
Right.
Oh,
he's
here we
right
go
there
again.
in Greece.
Yeah, that doesn't help things.
But that's not Grease though.
Oh, that's not Greece. It's just
No,
a
that's
shot
just like
on-
a Sean and TV show.
TV
Oh,
weird
I'm
thing.
sorry, I mistook it there. Okay, yeah, yeah, that was
Yeah.
big stuff, big money.
Russia,
Speaking of big
Shanana.
money, Tony D'Annunzio just slinks out of the water, just like a dolphin, like a mermaid, like a
merman.
slicked eel.
Yeah.
like an Aquaman. And we've been quoting this the entire time. How was it, Maggie?
How was
And
what?
she's like, how was what? He's like, I guess it wasn't that good. And then Danny gives the line, like, you'd fucking know D'Annunzio, which pisses off D'Annunzio. What is Danny saying with like you'd know?
Quick question here. I've always thought he says a lot. You fucking know D'Annunzio, or does he say like you
Oh,
fucking
interesting.
know D'Annunzio? That's not that interesting, but that's
Well, no. I mean, either way, like I don't get what is he saying? Like, oh, I had sex with Maggie and you didn't, or is he saying like you never had sex with a girl, or what exactly is he saying?
right. Like he would.
I think it's
like,
just
he
like
wouldn't
it's-
know anything about what good sex is or anything.
But
Okay.
his delivery just sounds like it is when he says, "Watch it, jerk."
Yeah.
It's just like a way to to rib him.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the way
I'll allow it.
D'Annunzio says, "Okay, stand up." He doesn't really seem like he's that pissed. He seems like he's kind of laughing a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's again, I think some playful banter, and I think that maybe, I don't feel like Danny's response is proportionate here. He's getting a little ribbing. So what? Not a big deal.
He seems sensitive about it. He's it seems kind of knee jerk.
Yeah, a little
You know?
bit.
But then he and D'Annunzio, as Lacey shows up, and they just watch her approach for what seems like half an hour.
Yep.
They're
Suddenly
it
on the
almost
same
seems like
team
they're
again.
they're almost like bonding over this or something.
Yeah.
They're like they're both.
Wow, check this out, buddy. Never mind that shit.
Yeah.
It's Mongo. Never mind that shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, Danny.
Jesus
Everyone looks younger and sort of like sleeker in this. Like, D'Annunzio is in great shape. He looks terrific, I must say. Danny looks more like a kid, and so does Maggie. And Maggie, in her red velvet polyester, or her red polyester suit from Saturday Night Fever, looks a lot more, if I might say, womanly and less unvoluptuous. And in this, and now she just looks very much like a kid, like a tomboy.
Yeah, she does.
It's a different kind of look. And Danny, of course, very scrawny.
And Danny stands like a kid. He's standing like a little kid right now.
Yeah.
Like D'Annunzio, he's got some poise,
Yeah.
He's a little
That's a
more
man right
statuesque.
there.
Though
Guy who
Danny
works
is
for
a
a
little
living.
taller.
He gets 15
right.
minutes off every week. He gets 15 minutes off of work, and this time he's
Yeah.
using it for caddy day at the pool.
That's right. He was going to use part of that 15 minutes to beat up Danny, apparently. But now he's going to use it looking at an attractive woman approaching.
Well, why does Lacey come strutting in during caddy hour? Do you think that was planned?
That does seem a little
That's a little weird.
out of place. I don't know.
Either she didn't know it was caddy hour, caddy.
Well, it's posted
day.
right on the front. You see the sign.
With
1 to
fleur-de-lis
115.
and everything.
I think she likes to show off, and she definitely is a.
That could be.
Yeah, she likes to show off a little bit, and she likes
It's
to
working on
shake a
all
tail
those-
feather.
Yeah.
So
It's
to
working on
speak.
those kids in the pool. Okay, no, I made this point way back in like minute 9 or something, and I cut it out because I didn't make my point very well, and I felt bad about it. But I want to know, these guys in the pool, they're all overweight. I want to know what the casting process is like when you know that what you're casting for is somebody who is overweight, and that overweightedness is comical. That's what's funny about. We talked about this with the Haverkamps, the Haverstamps, the Scabendamps. Like, we're hiring you to be doddering and old like you are. Like, we just want you to be you because that's hysterical.
Right.
Just like your natural state. Like, what is that casting conversation like?
So they need some schlubs.
Well,
Yeah, you're a schlub, and you're portly and slovenly, and that's going to be hysterical when you try to like suck in your gut and look like marginally less obese and weird as this beautiful woman walks by. That's going
let's put this in perspective. I mean, this is like what year was this again? 19 what?
79, 80.
Okay, yeah, it was released in 80. So this is 1980 or 1979 overweight, which is different from 2017 overweight.
That is
right?
true.
Because it's the same. The kids aren't that overweight. One of the guys over
they're
there
dumpy.
is the one all the way on the right who's sucking it in is not. He's
No,
just
not
kind
at
of
all. That's
he's just
true.
like a bigger kid. And the one all the way to the left who's kind of the largest, he's really accentuating it with bad posture. But if you
That's
saw
true.
him today, you'd be like, yeah, well, he could lose a few pounds, but he's not like 95% of the other people in the public pool. Like we've really,
Right.
and this is a social commentary where we've come in the last couple decades is with the rise of high fructose corn syrup and
Right.
and processed foods.
Right.
That we've really, and I think, evolving into a population of very hefty ne'er-do-wells.
It's like those
Right.
people in the movie Wall-E at the end where they're going around in those big
Yeah.
So the question would be then, if you had to cast it now, what would those three guys look like when you cut to those three guys?
They'd be dead.
I don't think you use the guy on the right at all.
No.
The guy in the middle would have to. They would tell him to gain weight, like like De Niro did for Jake LaMotta or something.
They put a fat suit
and
on
then
him.
the guy on the left, I think, still makes the cut.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I do think it's a little bit of a different.
Well, they bump him down. The guy who's on the way on the left moves to the right as the smallest guy,
Yeah, he's the.
and then
right.
they cast. Then they get two other guys that are bigger than that.
Yeah, what's that guy on the right even doing there? He's fine.
No, he's fine, but I think it's not the only joke in there. And they did line them up in order. on purpose
Yeah.
to like
maybe.
escalate the joke,
Okay.
right?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think you get
I
your
think you might be
classic
right, but that
comedic
never occurred to me.
escalation here. You get the sort of guy that's like the medium build sucking it in a little. Then you get the
Mm-hmm.
medium guy sucking it in where no one's buying it. And the third guy sucking it in where it's just way over the top.
Wow.
I think it's your classic joke setup.
I think you're right, but it never quite read that way to me.
Well, yeah,
And
that's
still
what's going to
doesn't
happen
quite,
now
but-
when you watch a movie 1 minute at a time. You're gonna start
guess
picking up
so.
stuff. Think of all the things they put in this movie on purpose that they hoped people would notice, and then until now
Yeah.
they didn't.
They had to wait hundreds of years. Oh, because you don't
Right.
even see the first guy. They cut to the first. By the time they cut to those guys, the first guy's already sucking it in. That kind of ruins the meter of the joke, the timing and the.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, perhaps that's true.
This movie sucks.
She's incredible.
She's incredible.
I got to shake my hand
There's
off.
a little There's a lot of yellow in this too. A lot of the Danny's got a yellow towel. Maggie's in a yellow tank top. All the umbrellas are yellow. All the chaise lounge are yellow.
Yeah.
The color of cowards.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to say something, but I don't know what.
I like the shot of Danny when he's got, Tony, when he's got the glasses on, the reflective sunglasses, and you could see
Yeah.
Danny in the reflection in his lounge chair with his little blue trunks.
When he goes, stand up.
It's got a very good artistic quality to it.
I never noticed that.
This is definitely Florida, by the way. Very Florida situation. Got the
Oh, what makes you say
high
that?
winds, the very warm weather. You can almost feel it, that
Yeah, that-
balmy.
That 2 p.m. thunderstorm is rolling in any minute.
Yep, it's the
The daily 2
why
p.m.
1 to
Day is only 15
1:15
minutes.
thunderstorm that
Yeah.
they scheduled Caddy Day around.
Yeah. I like the freeze frame of that, of her, like the look on her face when she's making that.
That's interesting that they treat her like she's like, she's not even in the same league. But, talking about Sarah Holcomb here.
Yeah.
No joke.
She's a cutie pie.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong to say that she's a cutie pie.
No, you are not wrong, Tom.
I am not
Absolutely
wrong.
not.
Hey, I have a question. This is sort of jumping ahead, but I mean, it's something that doesn't happen, so I guess it doesn't count as jumping ahead. Lacey Underall and Tony D'Annunzio never get it on. They never hook up, do they?
No.
In this movie,
I
we
bet
know
that's in
of.
the script originally. They must have
it
cut it
seems.
out.
Is that a pointed thing or is it just a random thing?
Random
like
thing.
she's got Ty Webb, she's got Danny Noonan,
Chuck Schick,
you know,
possibly. There's
Chuck
a
Schick,
suggestion there.
probably. Maybe even that Terry guy with the pot.
Terry.
Who
right,
knows?
Oh, that's
exactly.
right.
I've only got a little. Yeah.
But then we got this Lothario, Tony D'Annunzio, who's actively, kind of
Lothario.
Lothario.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
is
even
a
know if I used
Lothario.
that correctly. I just wanted to say
No, you're
Lothario.
absolutely using. Yeah, that's what he is.
Okay.
You would
yeah,
think
I mean,
D'Annunzio is an eligible young man.
yeah,
Yeah.
strutting around with the shades and with no clothes on.
But he does go
and-
for it here at the end. He gets
Yeah.
he gets screwed over a little bit by Mrs. Smales who comes
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Right, but I mean, this is just as jumping ahead a little bit, but he does go, hey, mama, and they get
Oh,
together.
I know.
a
No,
little bit.
I'm not faulting him at all. I'm saying it's weird because he's the one. Like Danny doesn't make a move on her or anything, and Ty Webb I guess just does what Ty Webb does. But D'Annunzio is like, oh, there's a sexy woman. I'm gonna go after her. I'm gonna whatever. I'm gonna put my moves on her and stuff and whatnot,
Right.
like they do in the movies. And he's like the only guy that she doesn't have sex with. It seems like.
I could see D'Annunzio, though, on his rare off day going into, Fort Lauderdale or something and just hitting up the older ladies, maybe.
Oh, sure.
Maybe a little bit of, maybe he's a gigolo or something on
Yeah.
the side. It's like his fourth job.
He's a pool boy with benefits.
Yeah, Cabana boy.
Yeah, cabana boy. Yeah.
Well, you notice that Maggie is sitting down in Tony's chair because he's got his pants and his shirt draped over the back of the
Oh,
chair.
jeez, don't tell me that.
Well, I'm just saying she just sat in a chair that was already taken. That's
Yeah.
why he walks over and grabs his sunglasses because it's his chair.
All right.
Oh. Very good catch there.
So he should really be threatening Maggie and trying to beat her up because she's sitting on his clothes, and he took it.
No, maybe he's taking it as she wants a piece of the nuns.
Yeah, she's cozying the nuns. She's cozying up to my trousers.
Yeah.
She saw the way that he was jumping up in that bedroom window, and she's like, he's got a good vertical leap. I think I like this guy.
Those legs are strong.
Yeah.
He's got a solid core.
I always wanted to get a Speedo like that. Just, you know what I mean? Just like once in a while, just go to a pool and just be like, that's right. I don't care.
This is what's happening, ladies.
With me, though, there'd be just hair coming out from every angle.
Black socks.
Yeah. Just big tufts of hair in every direction.
Jesus
I'm anxious, by the way, now about D'Annunzio's clothes. You guys were mad at me last time because I was worried about him bringing his nice clothes, his nice duds to the pool. And now, sure enough, Maggie's probably getting, suntan lotion all over them and stuff.
No, she's post-coitus. So she's got, sweat and...
Oh, is that what that glow is?
I don't know. She, her and Danny just had a little thing going on.
They did.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah. Do they even make suntan lotion anymore? That's not even possibly a thing,
like
right?
oil, like baby oil. They used
probably
to slather it on.
But I mean, you got sunscreen now. You got sun lotion. You're protecting yourself against the sun. You're not trying to cook yourself and bake the sun into you.
No, I think the suntan lotion is like the 15 SPF 15. I think that's as low as they'll go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll go.
I'm sure it exists.
To go.
Probably very. Yeah, when I was a kid, no one ever thought about it, and I would just get sunburnt.
Let me tell you, it was a fucking nightmare.
They knew.
It was an absolute, you know what? It was an absolute fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I lived in West Bloomfield, Michigan. God damn it. Now I'm remembering all this shit. I was at Hunter's Ridge Apartments. They'd kick you out of the house at, in the summertime, like 8 a.m., you'd have breakfast, you'd go out, and you'd come back at 4 o'clock. And you'd just be fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
I remember sitting at the foot of the steps, just shivering because I was so fucking burnt. And you know how they fixed it back then? They would just go and they'd soak a wet towel. They'd get a towel and soak it in cold water, just drape it over you.
Yeah.
Oh, this will draw the heat out of it. It's all
scratchy and hurts.
Yeah, and they would say this would draw the heat out of the sunburn. And you would sit there and just shiver because you got a 2nd degree fucking burn.
Yeah, you gotta scratch your nose and a layer of skin just slides off with your
And now I'm so terrified of the sun that I lather on the zinc oxide. But I said, what's the point?
Source of all
because
death.
I spent my entire childhood just being burnt because nobody was paid enough attention to take care of us back then.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was left to fend for myself. Go find some shade, kid.
Yeah.
But you didn't need. But let me tell you something. Here's what I have a problem. Oh, and I had this conversation with my mom all the. Oh, well, we didn't know. We didn't know that it wasn't good.
They did know, though.
You didn't know. You had to have science come and tell you that the sun.
It wasn't
the burning is not good. You thought the burning was good.
The burning.
You needed science to come back and say this causes.
People would buy products. People would buy stuff and put it on to make them get more tan from the sun.
But you got a sunburn, which was painful and it was bad. You didn't need some pointy-headed scientist to say, oh, the sun causes free radicals to combine into cancerous cells, and now we're going to die of cancer. You can't be in the sun. You should have known from the burn.
Yeah, but it's not like they didn't have the scientific evidence. They did. It just wasn't part of the zeitgeist or whatever.
Although Mike has a point. When you see a kid come inside after a couple hours outside in the blistering sun, and he's blistering, and it hurts, and his skin is in bad shape, it should only take 1 or 2 instances of that where you say, okay,
you know what? Don't do that anymore.
I witnessed the cause and effect here.
Yeah, you know what?
Seen the chain of events.
This is hurting my child, so I'm going to make sure that the kid doesn't stay out there all day. And if he does, I'm going to put this hat on him or put some clothes on him or look into this newfangled sunblock that everybody's talking about nowadays.
Some bain de soleil for the Saint-Tropez.
But these were the days when people were smoking on airplanes, though, too.
Exactly. Yeah, see, people didn't know. They had no idea what was going on.
Well, you're saying, obviously your kid comes back and they look like a turkey that you just pulled out of the oven. That should have been their indication that it's bad. The fact that their skin is melting off.
No, and this is exactly why. I've had 4 precancerous lesions taken off my back because Yeah, because it's so.
And yet the Pearl Jam tattoo remains.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Shut up. you know what? It's saying oh, you've done everything right from age 18 on, but it was those
Everything
formidable
that I
years
did
where
wrong is not permanent.
yeah, when you're riding your green machine down in the cul-de-sac without a shirt on for 75 hours at a time.
Right. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that hurts to think about. I
It
never
does.
had a green machine
I don't
either.
like
You know what,
That
Tom?
made me sad.
You know what,
Sunburn
Tom?
now.
You know what, Tom? You know what, Tom? It all hurts to think about. Everything hurts to think about.
Why are we thinking about anything?
I was numb. I was feeling okay until the sunburn. It just brought up the sunburn. It all comes back.
Oh my God.
We're at that age now where it's just like putting up a dam to hold back all the bad thoughts.
Oh sure.
You just have to trigger it, and it's like the flood of why.
That's
why.
what I do. Yeah. If I feel like if I
make
just
up
keep busy
horrible-
enough.
I make up horrible things to think about almost hourly.
Yep.
Like almost like clockwork. A hideous thought will enter my head. Like loved ones dying or something like that. And I'm like, and I'll be standing there like peeing at the urinal or something. I'll be like, why did I just think that? What am I doing? Am I preparing myself for something? Am I girding myself
This is
against
a
life's
very interesting
inevitable
question. Why
skin
does this
cancers
happen?
and things? And
Well, here, and I had this. My oldest daughter is starting to have. She had trouble sleeping because she's starting to think about death now.
oh wow.
And I go, what's going on? And she's like, I was thinking about some things. I go, what? She's like, dying.
She's like our old man.
And I'm thinking,
I'm glad you said it.
Instead of saying, well, you know what, let's sit here and have a discussion, I didn't know what to say. I'm like, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
you're right.
right. You're right. It's just
all
when it hits
going
you,
bad.
when it hits you,
Death
it
is
hits you.
lurking.
That's what I was saying in my head, and I'm like, I don't know what to say because she's right.
If you don't, if you don't have your guard up, then you never know. It could come in
Yeah.
any second.
Well, you're right.
It's true.
You're not wrong.
Life is
Yeah.
fragile. You're not
Yeah.
wrong. Death is coming for you.
Yeah,
Don't fear
no,
the Reaper.
And I hesitate maybe to say this, but because I feel like it's just a random thought about it. But it's that could this have anything to do with like male gender roles? Like we sort of learn to be a certain way, and then once we start to feel vulnerable, it's a flood of like vulnerability. It's like
That could be.
because that's all I think about too. And I know that I talked to my girlfriend about it, and she goes, I'll just be talking about how that I've got this back pain now, and that and it feels terrible in the morning, and then I'm having these ankle problems, and it's just going to get worse every day. Every day is going to be worse from here on for the rest of it. That's all of it for the rest of it. And she's like, why would you concentrate on all these negative things? I'm like, well, is it true? It's true what I'm saying. It's true. And like I'm obsessed with this, the fact that it's all going downhill, and there's nothing you can do. It's unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that. Cheers for that. No,
Cheers.
He's
But
right.
guess what?
See, I
I'm
worked
not
today.
wrong.
Yeah, we had we're in the middle of our committee meetings. I was talking with our committee members from India, and he was telling me about, since I retired from my work, he just threw down this big, massive book and he goes, I wrote this book last year, and it's all in the local language. There's a big sunflower on the front, and he started telling me it's all poems and ideas. And he goes, I looked at my life and I removed all the negative things. I only wrote the positive things. I said, that's beautiful. But in the back of my head, I'd be like, I would do the exact opposite. If I was going to sit down and write reflections and thoughts, I would remove all the good things and write nothing but the negative things because I think that's funny and interesting. I said I would just,
Right.
it's like a Philip Roth novel. It's like, it's like Portnoy's Complaint. It's just all, neurotic negativity.
Yep.
Yeah.
I said, that's
Absolutely.
all I would be. And I said, I wish I could write a book that has sunflower on it, because I would love to be be able to say, I'm going to put down everything that's positive. Nothing negative will make it in this book. I'm going to concentrate on nothing but the positivity.
I bet you got more sunflowers than you think you do, Mike DiMaria.
See, how
think
does
so,
a guy
Tom?
how does a guy who says that only think of negative things when he takes a leak?
Yeah.
It's not just when I take a leak. It's when I'm walking down the street, making a bowl of cereal, drinking
You
some
think about,
coffee.
like, if you're going to the bathroom, do you think of, like, oh, I'm going to pass a stone at it? What happens if I pass a stone?
No, it's not
right
even
now?
me. It's like I don't know. Like I'll get a phone call. Like we're all without getting into specifics, we're all at the age that parents are getting older and stuff. Like every time my phone rings and I see it's one of my parents, I'm like, ah, shit, this is it. Like this can't be good. And it'll be like my mom saying, "Oh, how you doing? Oh, did you get the package I sent you?" I'm like, "Oh, phew. I thought you were calling to say the dad died or something, or Does something horrible happen? Like that's where my head is.
Yeah.
Then I'm like,
She's like, what, Tom? What are you talking about? Dad's been dead for 10 years.
What?
Reminds me of the scene from Annie Hall, the horrible and the miserable. How he says, you know, the horrible is like the people who are blind and you know the people who are missing legs and missing limbs, and the miserable is everybody else.
That's another Woody Allen.
There's two. Life is separated into two categories: the horrible and the miserable.
Which one was it? I think was it Hannah and her sisters? Well, because every Woody Allen movie from that era had a scene with him getting a CAT scan.
Oh right, yeah.
What was the one where they were told, you know, there's something on your CAT scan. We got to look at it. Come back Monday. So he goes through the whole thing, the whole weekend of I'm dying. And then he goes and he gets the news that he's not dying, and he's running down the street like jumping in the air, but he only does it for like 15 seconds before the crushing thoughts come back, and he stops and he like hunches over. He's like, yeah, I'm not dying, but not now, but I am dying.
Right.
So, right. And I remember watching this even as a kid, not really understanding the humor at that point, but I immediately identified myself with that man right there who was running. Wow. He allows himself like 15 to 20 seconds of freedom to not worry about the bad things, but then the bad things will come and crush him in the end anyway.
Yeah, you innately knew it, what type of person you were going to be.
I said, aha, that's me.
That speaks to me.
Uh-huh. I get it.
You and I are the same in this way, I got to tell you.
Mm-hmm. Isn't there some way in which that could be healthy? Somehow? Yeah, like you're being realistic or something, you're being pragmatic or something?
I don't know, but it absolutely could be. I'm not going to be one of those people that says it can't be. Because the people who say it can't be, nah, it's terrible for you, this bad attitude. These are people just pretending to know things they don't know.
Right, yeah. How do you...
You don't know. Don't tell me
brain scientist.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because it's healthy in a sense because it's a defense mechanism, because we are evolved creatures that understand our own mortality.
Yeah.
Right.
And instead of just letting it not eat us to madness, we have to create some sort of a wall that says, "Oh, I'm just gonna shelter myself from that." So anybody who dwells on it is not healthy in the society of distraction.
But could that kind of thinking also heighten your appreciation of the fact that you're not dead right now?
Right, that's what
you're appreciating life because you know it's going to end at literally any moment.
Right, but that you use that to propel yourself to get the most out of life. Seize the day.
Hopefully.
That's the theory, but I do spend an awful lot of time with the negativity. I mean, you got to take some time off if you're ever going to reap the benefits. Like if you're ever going to reap what you sow, then you can't just sit there the whole time just saving up, and then you die with this giant bank account of potential positive thoughts and experiences.
You just die thinking, I knew it.
I knew it. I was right.
Told you so.
But then the ones who are like us that dwell in the worry. How do we savor life? I'll eat like a fantastic sandwich, and I'll be like, oh God, that's good. And to me, that's like, that's life right there. That's this sandwich.
Yeah, I do think
it's immediate. You go for the immediate gratification.
I do have to say, I think my if I might be a little bit, if my moments of transcendent joy, I feel like they might be that much better for it. I don't know.
Could be.
There's no way to measure it, for Christ's sakes.
How the hell did we get on this? This went from sunburns. Sunburns is what triggered this.
Hey, it's all life. God damn it!
Just want to put my head down on the table here and just drift off to sleep.
No one's stopping you. This is a safe place somehow. Well, listen, we don't have to keep going.
No,
we kind of covered the minute.
These minutes are very long.
Now we're into some sort of, but now we're into some deep shit.
That's right.
Yeah. You can't pull out of this too fast. You could injure yourself.
That's true. That's true. Well, let's say
you got to ease it back out with some Caddyshack talk.
Okay. Or you know what? How about a vomit story?
Oh,
no,
sure.
that's
You
three
want another vomit
episodes in a
story?
row or more, or 3 weeks.
I
in a
got
row.
one
I
more.
like a nice vomit
I
story.
got one
All
more.
right, go ahead.
I got one more. So I'm about, let's see, about 7 years old. All right. And I have family. I have family that lives in. So a lot of my mom's family lives in Vegas, so we used to go there all the time. And I never had the Vegas experience because every time I go to Vegas, we'd have to stay with family. You know, it was nice, but you never got to just go and go bananas.
Right. There's not a slot machine in the bathroom there.
No, but
their
I'm
house.
7 years old, so we're going, and it's me, my mom, and my dad, and we're going to stay at the Stardust before they blew it up, back in the it's one of the original hotels, Stardust. Mm-hmm. But my mom had a bit of she still does a little bit of the slot machine bug. On the descent of the plane, I was doing great. This is before the streak, obviously, but I lost it on the descent. Like it just immediately, and I couldn't get to the bag, and I vomited all over myself.
Oh my god!
Like just projectile, but I covered myself, my pants and everything.
Ugh.
Oh.
And my dad just started getting anxious. He's trying to hold it together. Me and him were pretty much the same. I learned from him, I think, to be a little anxious.
Could
So
be.
we get to the, and all I remember is clearly we got to the Stardust, and we're walking through the lobby, and my mom starts to lose it because she sees all the slot machines. So she peels off to the slot machine. She's like, "I'll just be a second. I'll just play a few as we're walking to the room." And my dad's getting angry, and so he goes over. He goes, and he gets me close to the slot machines. So then the pit boss comes over. He goes, "What's he doing next to the slot machines?" Me. He's like, "We're just waiting for his mom," and I'm covered in dried puke at this point. So I clear as day, I remember the pit boss. He goes, "He can't be within 10 feet of the machines. He has to stand over there." He's like, "His mother's almost finished." This makes my mom sound horrible, which she wasn't. But it was just the slot machine. She'd get the spark in her eye, and she thought that she'd go make $1 million.
It happened to
you
Marge
can't,
Simpson.
you can't leave a loose slot if it's paying out.
So they start arguing with the pit boss. I'm sitting there. I remember because I had like the the walk where you got your legs spread out and you're walking stiff-legged because you're covered in puke.
Oh my god!
And so we finally, there was a little argument. We get back up to the room, and I remember clear as day just laying in the tub, soaking in the tub. And I could hear like some Tom Jones type music on the TV because my dad was just flipping through the TV, and it was one of those push button remotes where you push the button, it's like click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Not unusual
An actual clicker.
to be loved
Yeah.
by anyone.
Yeah, and I remember it was like I was like soaking in this quiet tub like Alex DeLarge in the writer's house. And I remember just because I was peeling off the dried puke on my arms. Oh God, I'm really depressed now. This is
you getting to the hotel room?
Yeah, but it
Like
was
for the
just
first time after the airplane?
yeah, but it was like an hour and a half after I threw up,
Oh my god!
and my mom peeled off and started throwing quarters in the slot machines.
Wow.
She's a good woman,
I met your mother. She's a lovely woman.
but she let her son dry up in the puke.
Parents are people and they're weird. All people are weird.
Well, they were young back then too.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe your room was delayed or something, and she was just killing time.
Yeah, that's what I'll tell myself. So last week it was my dad in the transitional place for singles, and the Bad News Bears. These are the sad, weepy minutes right here from.
Yeah, the Caddy Day is going on. It's a celebration of splashing and water and
No, it's the
Madonna
sun.
with meatballs,
You had to mention the sun or the sunburn or being outside,
to avoid.
and it triggered all. I was in a calm, even mood. I was in my New Year's resolution.
yeah,
I held it together today. I had a lot of stress today, and I held it together.
we're proud of you. Well, listen,
Look, Mike, enough of the gloom and the doom.
yeah, you're really bringing us down.
Yeah.
No,
I just
I'll
wanted to
get it
talk
together.
about
Don't you
depression.
worry. Don't you? You know what? I'm an open book, and I'll when I'm down, I'll tell you why. But I'll be back up again. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow. I'm heading to Finland. I'll be.
Oh, there you go.
If you want to see my act, I'll
That's
be
your
in
answer to
Helsinki.
everything.
I'll be in Helsinki and then Hyvinkää, which is about 45 minutes outside of Helsinki. I'll get a
Well, we
nice
can't run from
Swedish.
yourself, Mike.
I'll get a nice Finnish sauna, and I'll get a nice. I'll be fine. Don't you worry about it. I'm in the middle of packing right now, and I have 3 cans of Barbasol.
Oh, good,
One of
good.
them is actual Barbasol.
Yeah.
The other 2
Please-
have containers are contained microfiche.
Well, one of
Please
them
mark
has.
one. Mark the one that is empty, please, just so
Yeah.
you know. Like, don't get them mixed up this time.
Yeah.
One of them is full of Barbasol shaving cream. One of them is full of microfiche, and one of them has just got those snakes that pop out if you try to open it.
Yeah, a can of peanuts.
Yeah.
Take that, comrade.
Well, it never worked
Yeah.
for the Barbasol to me. Like, I do, in general, enjoy the days when things were made out of metal. I liked when there was more metal, like cars and stuff, and
Sure.
now everything seems to be kind of this molded, semi-shiny
Prefabbed.
plastic. Yeah, but the Barbasol did get rusty in the shower.
Would you shave in the shower?
Oh yeah. I like to keep.
was never a
used to-
shower
I don't do it
shaving fellow.
anymore, but I used to like to shave in the shower. It's the nicest place to shave. You get the steaminess in there.
Really? You do it without a mirror?
Exactly. Well, you don't need a mirror to shave. What am I going to do? Shave my nose off on accident? I know where to shave. I know where the hair is.
I guess so.
And
This is
you
before
shave your
tomorrow.
ass.
I shave my ass in the shower.
I know
but
where my ass is. What's the big
tempted my
deal?
face.
All right. You know what?
So what? You don't know where to shave? Like you know it's under the nose,
Uh-huh.
but before the mouth,
Let
and
me
then
write
you
this
skip
down.
the mouth, and it's all under there. I don't
Oh, I
understand
see.
why you
Well,
need
you
a
just
mirror.
you got to be careful around your sideburns to keep them.
Yeah, there's
Well,
some
you do the
trimming
finishing
and
touches
some
out-
sculpting.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do the finishing touches outside the shower, but what are you doing? Like topiary gardening? Just
Well,
get it off of there.
I got my bat signal goatee that I got to have just exactly right. I can't do that without a mirror.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta get my lamb chops just right.
I'm a jeweler.
I'm a star.
I'm a stop. All right. Yeah, I got to
right,
finish
go see
packing.
Doc
I got a
Jackson.
stressful
Look,
day
now we're
tomorrow.
happy again.
Yeah.
What?
Thought of.
Yeah, I got to finish
All right, go
packing. I got a
pack.
full
All
day
right.
of work and then leaving right after work.
We'll let
To
you go.
finish sauna.
Yeah.
Sauna. Yeah,
Have a beautiful sauna.
Yeah.
I will.
A lot of
I
this
will.
gonna have
It's
to be
on our-
edited out.
It's on our meeting agenda. It's on the agenda. Sauna. So there's going to be
Wow.
about 40 people in sauna.
Oh my goodness.
And
That's like
and
a
the
group
and yeah
Team building
and the,
exercise in the sauna.
Yeah, and the email went out from our Finnish hosts that said, in Finland we go to sauna without clothes, but if you have a problem with that, bring a bathing suit. So you bring a bathing suit, they're gonna shame you until you take it off.
Are you
You're a total
going
loser,
as God
weenie.
made you, Mike, or what? What are you gonna do?
Last time I went to Finland, I went as God because I with my host because every Finnish house has a sauna in it. So I went just as
Wow.
I wore my bathing suit and he said no. So I took it off.
It's a little bit of a weird. Okay, yeah. All right.
It's a
I'm
process.
not gonna.
It's
You
a
know,
process.
it's the culture.
Chicky buck.
It is.
blast.
You
So
know
this
what?
was
It's
at someone's
com-
house, their sauna, and they're like, "I will not have somebody.
Yeah.
It is indecent for you to be wearing
Ew.
swim trunks in here.
Gross.
Yeah.
You're wearing pants.
I will not be happy until I see your bare ass on my sauna furniture."
Pervert. Get naked.
Pervert.
It's an insult.
All right.
All right. Well, listen. We're at the pool.
enough.
Mike's in the sauna. We're thinking about it anyway.
Yep.
I don't know what happened here today.
Just end
But it's
it.
a thing. Okay.
You mentioned
we're done.
sunburns. You mentioned
We're done.
sunburns.
I
We
mentioned
went down a
sunburns.
dark
And
hole.
everything went off the rails.
It
Yep.
did. But it's podcasting gold. Yet again.
There's a lot
We've
of
done
stuff
it again,
that's-
guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's.
I have a lot of work to do. I understand. I'm very well adjusted in a lot of places, and there's a lot of places that I still need a lot of work.
Sure.
I'm gonna go write some things down when I'm done here,
Uh-huh.
and I'll start a process of working on the few things that just popped up.
Hey,
All work
welcome
and
to
no
the
play
human
makes
race.
Jack a dull boy. Is that what you're gonna write?
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, everybody, come back next time for Caddyshack minute number 46, where Mike will say,
Sauna?
I don't know, maybe, sure.
I don't
Oh,
know.
God,
I guess
that
we'll
didn't
find
work.
out.
You set me up for something I wasn't prepared for.
I
It
know,
wasn't
that was
ready.
really awful. All right. Well, that'll be cut out too. Hooray!
That's like someone on the basketball team sending up an alley-oop, and then the guy
There's
who's
nobody
supposed to
there.
take it is on the bench.
Who?
He's like, take off your tear-away pants and get in there and dunk that ball that the guy just set up.
An alley-oop without a guy jumping is an air ball.
Right? That's just a hair ball.
It's just an air ball.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the air ball there, Tom.
10-4.
All right, just end it already.
That's ended. In my head, I stopped like minutes ago.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.